Yo, what is up, guys? So we have Potato Exodia. We're using Soul Unseal. It's part of the new Potato archetype support. Not even kidding. Potatoes, guys, is going to be a real thing in Yu-Gi-Oh! They actually come out of a bag of potato chips. That's how you get these cards. Currently in the OCG. In the TCG, I don't know when we're getting them. I know that was fast, by the way. I'll explain it in a second. We got a few different builds, guys, of Exodia here. So, anyways, Soul Unseal, like I said, is part of the new Potato archetype. It's all about, like, normal monsters, being able to manipulate what you can do with them. But the potatoes, as of right now, I don't think anyone's really building an actual potato deck. But they're using the potato support for other things, and Exodia happens to be one of them. So, we're using Soul Unseal in this variant here. And it makes it so if your opponent controls a monster and you control a normal monster, which you can just summon any Exodia parts and then just link it away. But you choose 5 normal monsters in your deck and add one of them to your hand, and then you banish the rest of those monsters. So what that means is you're going to be able to banish basically all of the Exodia parts minus the head, because it does have to be 5 normal monsters. But then, yeah, you get to add basically one of the Exodia pieces, and then your opponent's just going to send all the rest to the graveyard. Or whatever card that you have, you're going to be able to, like, just summon and just send it to the graveyard. Just, again, use it as link material. And then you can summon your Big Daddy BLS over here, and then you're going to activate copies of Primal Seed to actually get back your Exodia pieces. Each one is going to add 2 pieces, so it's pretty self-explanatory. There's a lot of different builds here, guys. It's not just Black Luster Soldier. I also wanted to mention another thing. Primal Seed does allow you to get cards that are banished face down, so you can actually still play the Desires, the Pot of Desires with it. But anyways, like I said, there's a few different Exodia plays here to kind of show you guys how the deck can run different variants of the new Potato Exodia, because this card is insane. Here we're going to see him banish all of them. He's going to put them back with Burial. He's going to take his opponent's monster, and then he's going to go ahead and draw 2. He didn't really need to take it. We're sending multiple copies of the First Aid Squad. This is just going to let you get back those normal monsters in your graveyard. You could argue Backup Soldier is way better, and you'd be right. It's the same thing, essentially, except for this one. It doesn't require you to have that set amount, which Backup Soldier technically does have. You can also use Future Fusion, which we'll get into in just a second here. But like I said, guys, the new Potato card is insane in Exodia. So, yeah, it is definitely something that can be something that we should look out for. I know Exodia is a very iconic way to win in Yu-Gi-Oh! People love new ways to play one of their favorite win conditions in the game. Like I said before, with Backup Soldier, it does require you to have 5 or more monsters in your graveyard, and then you can target the 3 non-effect ones. This one's going to be kind of an FTK because, well, you're able to do it pretty much immediately. Your opponent did have a monster here, so some people will argue that's not an FTK because your opponent had a turn, but I mean, with Backup Soldier, if you set it as soon as your opponent's turn starts, you activate it. You didn't have to have Temple of the Kings here. It's not really something that I would say that you need. Sometimes there are times where you want to play cards a little bit faster. I totally get it. But yeah, Backup Soldier, excellent card, and also Future Fusion will actually let you summon something quite powerful, and I'll get into that in a second. I want to go ahead and show you guys the deck profile for this deck, but I got to give a shout out to my boy Zeke for sending these in. So give that boy a subscription. I'll link him down below. But anyways, he had sent this in. So once again, thanks, man. I appreciate it, and shout outs to you. But I think what he did is he took a deck that was like kind of halfway built, and then he just like put some cards in here. So, like, for example, Gift Exchange, both players banish a card from their decks face down, and if they do during the end phase of this turn, both players add to their hands the card their opponent banished. I don't think that would necessarily help you unless you want to somehow give them something. I don't know how that would work with this deck, but if you understand it, let me know. But I think there is something I did want to mention here. Like I said, I think he just took apart another deck and kind of built this really quick, which is totally understandable. I do it when I try to show off some weird stuff too. But one thing I thought was really interesting, like obviously you'd want to play multiple copies of the new Potato support, the Soul Unseal, but I don't know what to call this deck. Let me know, guys, what we should call it. Potato Exodia? Po Exodia? But I think the Black Luster one was pretty unique because, again, since you can banish the cards with Primal Seed, you can actually add back potentially some of the draw power cards. I was thinking to make this deck even more consistent with cards like Allure of Darkness, so you can get some extra draw power in, and you could banish your Exodia parts. It's totally fine now. Even with some of the newer Exodia stuff that came out where it's like the continuous trap where you send one to bounce a card, you can start utilizing those cards. There's a lot more play with this here, but these are just kind of some ways to actually build the deck. But, yeah, it's a pretty interesting way to play the deck, but I also wanted to mention really quickly, Future Fusion when you use Quintet Magician as a target, when you send 5 different spellcasters with different names as materials, you can destroy all cards your opponent controls, and this card cannot be distributed and it can't be destroyed by card effects. So if you can turn 1 activate the Future Fusion, this baits out a lot of potential like cards that your opponent could just, there's like, I just need to get rid of this, can't let this go through. That really helps out too. But also, you could just start sending all the Exodia pieces. You can literally send all the 5 of the Exodia pieces to the graveyard, and bam, you're ready to go. You can go ahead and Sangan, and then maybe add back a card that way. There's a lot of cards that let you add vanilla cards, or if there's any card that lets you just add a card from your graveyard to your hand. There's plenty. This one happens to be a normal monster, but this one has another bonus effect where if a normal monster is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you get to go ahead and special on this. I was even thinking like you can mix it in with Treasure Pander Exodia, which is another variant of Exodia. There's so many different possibilities, and it's all due to this one card. In fact, there's a lot of potato cards. There's another, I forgot what the name is, but pretty much this is the main card that we're focused on for the Potato Exodia. The Soul Unseal is the card that we're looking at. There is cards to reset some of the banished cards, but it doesn't let you draw, so I would say it's kind of counterproductive. It just puts them back into the deck. There's really no point. And then they have like a, oh gosh, what is that? I don't know if I've typed in potato. I think the only card, okay, there's Potato and Chips, which is another card from the Potato archetype. Like I said, they're not really going to be something that we're going to use for this build, but it's just a vanilla monster. And then the other card lets you like, it's like if you're, of your, let me see if I can find it, banished. Let's go to trap. It was like target up to 5. It was like something about, is it, Farm Delivery. Here's the last potato card. We just had 3 announced, but if you control a normal monster, you can target up to 3 of your banished normal monsters and shuffle them into the deck. I don't know if there's any interaction to where if something would be, with the exception of like Madolches, where if something would be like returned, you get to add them to your hand instead. If there is, someone comment down below. These are all like the new potato cards, but again, Soul Unsealed, you probably want 3 of these cards. But your opponent controlling a monster, that's not very difficult. Like I said before, you could probably Grindor Golem, use this, and then extend your combo play with Sarah Yuja, and you could probably easily FTK them. Again, that would be an easy way to do it. But I'd probably play like multiple copies of Mallet and like tons of other cards because you can go easily Super Plus as long as you have Grindor Golem. But anyways, guys, that is the Potato Exodia deck. I know that name sounds really strange, but there's also like Blackluster Soldier variant, which I thought was cool. He didn't send me in the deck profile, but obviously you guys get the idea. Primal Seed, Blackluster Soldier. Like I said, you can play Pot of Desires in here. You could even play Pot of Indulgence. You just need to put like massive amounts of draw power. I think I would probably not play Indulgence because you don't get to actually add any more, you can't do any more draw power cards. But with cards like Allure of Darkness and stuff, you could probably make this pretty consistent, as well as maybe some other like draw power. But anyways, that is the deck, guys. Let me know what your thoughts down below, what you thought of the deck, and if you have any crazy variants, I would love to see them. Go ahead and feel free to go ahead and send it into AzneyesReplays@gmail.com if you've got them. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed seeing some new variant of Exodia in 2018, using that new potato support that everyone's been talking about. Who knows what we'll get in the future with the new potatoes. Maybe it'll actually make Potato Exodia even better. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like on it. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button if you'd like to see more new crazy Yu-Gi-Oh content. And I'm out.